Welcome to Midweek News, episode 120, released Monday, March 24th for members, with a general release on Wednesday, March 26, 2025. Let's get into it. New proposal from BlueSky for scraping data for AI training. It's not news that AI companies are scraping data and social media companies are profiting from it. The CEO of BlueSky wants users to have to consent over how their data is used for AI. This will probably be an unpopular idea among the tech bro culture out there. I hope that sanity prevails. Unfortunately, there are many indicators that point in the opposite direction. What do you think? OpenRazer and Polychromatic updates. This will be great news for those who use Razer devices on Linux. Support for new devices: Huntsman V3 Pro, Razer Blade 15 Base from late 2020, Razer Kraken Kitty version 2. Other improvements: relax serial number checks, fix event file path for Razer Deathstalker version 2 TKL, clean the Razer Kraken driver.h device definitions. The Polychromatic app is powered by the OpenRazer, also has these improvements. Fix playback loop skipping over the first frame while in the editor. Fix DPI presentation for very high DPI devices. Improvements to Python library for troubleshooter. Improved quality of build scripts. I'm not currently using Razer devices, but these sound like some great incremental improvements. Firefox is re-adding support for web apps. Currently hidden behind an experimental feature flag in a nightly version of Firefox, you can now add support for progressive web apps. Firefox will not use a minimal browser frame for web apps and will continue to show the toolbar with address bar extensions and bookmarks. It will be interesting to see how this develops over the coming releases of Firefox in the nightly development versions, as well as when it makes it to a full release. GIMP 3.0 is now available. The article highlights many of the new features: rewritten graphical interface in GTK3, massive improvements to color management, a stable public API to allow porting of plugins and scripts from GIMP 2.10 series, support for loading layers from TIFF files saved in Autodesk Sketchbook format, 64 bits per pixel images in BMP format, non-destructive editing. There are many other improvements and tweaks to this new version. Since I'm not graphically inclined, Canva is more my speed. I'm really not the person to do a demonstration of these features. Garuda Linux might be the best looking desktop OS on the market. That is a pretty bold claim, but now that they have a Cosmic Edition, I might humor it. Garuda is really one of those Linux distributions that you have to experience yourself to wrap your head around. I will just say that I was really impressed that they were able to pull off a release with the Cosmic Desktop, which works better than the Ubuntu-based Pop! OS with Cosmic coming directly from System76, at least in Proxmox virtual machines. Garuda does succeed in making Arch Linux a little more accessible to mere mortal Linux users. XPipe. Manage your entire server infrastructure locally. XPipe is available for Linux, macOS, and Windows. It acts as a central hub for various remote connections like SSH containers, virtual machines, and more without requiring any setup on the remote systems themselves. XPipe integrates into existing command-line tools, terminals, and editors. The core application is open source, although additional features are available through paid versions. Supported connections: SSH connections, config files and tunnels, tailscale and teleport connections, RDC and VNC connections. Container features: Docker, Podman, LXD, and Incus containers, Kubernetes clusters, pods and containers, virtualization platforms, Proxmox virtual machines and containers, Hyper-V, KVM, VMware Player, Workstation Fusion, virtual machines. Operating system environments: Windows Subsystem for Linux, Cygwin and MSys2 environments, PowerShell remote sessions. There are many other tools and features. You can check out the article or go grab yourself a copy of XPipe and start experimenting. Skanlite. This is a simple scanning application to scan and save images, available from FlatHub. Optimized for scanning with flatbed scanners. In addition to photos and documents, Skanlite can also capture transparent slides and film strips with supported scanners. Ubuntu Home Automation. This is an interesting article from Linux Journal. While there does seem to be an Ubuntu bias at first glance, much of what is talked about here is applicable to other Linux distributions. If you're looking to dip your toes into the home automation waters, this is a good primer type article to start with. SystemRescue 12 released. SystemRescue is an Arch-based distro designed as a powerful toolkit for data recovery, system repair, and disk management. Some highlights of the new version: XFCE Desktop 4.20, native support for Bcache-FS, workarounds to prevent potential display glitches that could affect Grub. Several disk utilities have been refreshed to provide a better experience: gparted 1.7, nwipe 0.38, dump 0.4, beta 49. Changelog is linked in the article. elementaryOS 8.0.1 is released. Many fixes and refinements have gone into this release, from tweaks to system settings to enhancements to the installation and onboarding process. This is a nice incremental improvement. Kali Linux 2025.1a release. This release includes the 2025 theme refresh, desktop environment updates including KDE Plasma 6.2 and XFCE 4.20. Raspberry Pi version gets a new major kernel. Various new and improved packages are available. A single new tool has been added this time around. Hoax Shell is a Windows reverse shell payload generator and handler. As always, refer to the Kali documentation for more details. I've long said and will continue to say that Kali is a great place to discover tools and to experiment. However, most of the tools in Kali can be installed on other Linux distributions with a little effort. CopyQ. CopyQ is an advanced clipboard manager that is available on FlatHub for Linux. It is also available on Windows and macOS versions from 10.15 onwards. The Windows version is available through Scoop, Choco, and Winget. The macOS version is also available through Homebrew. Native Linux binaries are available for several distributions. It's worth a look if you have a desire for a better clipboard and want something that is cross-platform. Microsoft tells Windows 10 users to buy new PCs. I have no great love for Microsoft, that's no secret. There's been plenty of warning for users of Windows 10 to make a plan to migrate either to a new system or use something else, like Linux. The number of people who exclaim, "I didn't know," will become deafening as we get closer to October. You've really got several options here if you're still using Windows 10. Option 1, buy a new PC with Windows 11. Option 2, continue using Windows 10 and pay for a year of support to buy time to plan for an upgrade. Option 3, buy a Mac. Yes, it's more expensive than a PC, but it certainly means less plastic, and the Apple Silicon developments are more interesting than AMD or Intel. Option 4, switch to Linux. Back up your data, install Linux, restore your data, carry on. Now, some of these options may not be viable if you're running a business, are a gamer, or have standardized on proprietary software not available on Linux. While you still got the time, pick an option. My options may not make sense for your situation. Just don't wait until it's panic time. Raspberry Pi Image Gen. Custom Raspberry Pi image creation. While it may once have seemed out of reach, the introduction of RPI Image Gen is now a reality for us mere mortals. The tool is modular with three main elements. A profile defines which packages and operations are included. An image layout determines how the disk image is structured, and a configuration file written in INI style format connects the profile and layout and can be adjusted for different devices or use cases. For further information, check the official Raspberry Pi announcement. This is certainly an exciting development for anyone who is interested in the Raspberry Pi. At long last, Rescuezilla 2.6 has been released. There is now a version built on Ubuntu 24.10, updated UEFI Secure Boot shim package to support Windows 11 machines, resolved the SBAT issue, part clone upgraded to 0.3.33, Memtest 86 Plus upgraded to 7.0. Rescuezilla works with images created by CloneZilla, VirtualBox VDI, VMware VMDK, QEMU Cow2, and many more. You can get Rescuezilla from the project's GitHub page. Please note, as of the preparation for this video, the developer has not changed the Rescuezilla webpage to reflect the new version. Usermode FTP Server. This is a novel little program that allows a user to start an FTP server. No root permissions needed. FTP encryption, FTPS, and SFTP. Single user authentication. Optional read-only file system. I might have to test this one out. It seems interesting on the surface, but it set off some security bells if used outside a home environment. And that will bring us to the end of Midweek News, episode 120, released March 24th for members and March 26th for non-members. Drop a like and let me know in the comments which story was your favorite. Have a great day.